Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show, powered by Primanti Bros. I am your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, of course, we have Ryan. Ryan, happy Sunday.
Two in a row. Yeah, 2 in a row of this, DiNardo. And I got to talk about this crappy offense again. What a weekend. What a weekend.
I know, right? I was on Friday. You were on yesterday, and we return on Sunday. And essentially get to talk about the same post-game show, just a little differently. Pirates lose 1-0 today against the Philadelphia Phillies. There goes the series. They get swept. They now have 23 straight games where they've scored 4 runs or less. One of 8 other teams.
Wait,
right?
Not only 23 in a row, 41 out of 47 games now. They've scored 4 runs or less. They've only scored 5 runs or more 6 games this season.
That's like that's par on most courses, right? I'm not a big golfer.
No, that's it's par for the course, all right. It's horrible, dude. Look at this. Yes, Crosby. I am drinking a Guinness at 3:30. This is what the Pirates do to me.
Do we blame you? The Pirates are now 15-32. Another wasted Paul Skenes start. But Paul Skenes, let's start out with him. I do want to talk about Paul Skenes because we can get all to the nitty-gritty bad stuff here shortly. But before we do go into Paul Skenes, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs. And BetOnline has more ways to stay in the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. And it all started with Paul Skenes. And there's been this, it's crazy because we're still doing it. And honest to God, Ryan, I still see it in our comments on Instagram and Facebook. Paul Skenes just isn't that good. Let's be real, guys. He's just not that good this year. I don't understand where it's coming from, but Paul Skenes comes out there and once again just shoves. Now, of course, he hasn't been as dominant as he was last year. The guy had a sub-2 ERA. I don't know who can expect you to be as dominant, but right now, Paul Skenes, after today's shove fest, has a 2.44 ERA. Can we put that thing to rest that Paul Skenes just simply isn't that good of a pitcher anymore? Completely just has this Philadelphia Phillies lineup baffled. They weren't able. He was throwing the kitchen sink at them. They weren't able to really make contact with much at all. 8 innings pitched. He goes a complete game, albeit because the Pirates didn't afford him the opportunity to throw a true complete game. But 8 innings pitched today, 3 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, and of course that 1 earned run.
Yeah. I was like, are you done? I thought you were just going. I may just sit here and protest of this offense and not say anything. It was like you mentioned about the I don't know, the haters. I don't know what you want to call them, but the people that have been on Skenes. Oh, he hasn't been efficient. We haven't seen the strikeouts. His velocity's down this year. It's like Paul looked at all that talk on Twitter and just said, oh, you guys want efficiency and strikeouts? Here you go. Take this. Because he was great from the start. And I think I said it on, I don't know if I tweeted it out or I just said it in my head. I don't know what's happening anymore. But Paul could have pitched, at this point, he could have pitched till midnight against this Phillies lineup. And I don't think they were doing much off of him. And he gave up 3 singles. That was the only hits the Phillies had today. And they got a run. And he loses the game. I mean, it's absurd. but he had the command on like every one of his pitches was spot on today. I'd say this is better than the Dodgers start that he had, couple weeks back. He was efficient. He was striking guys out. He wasn't giving up any big hits. The infield single, we've seen Hayes make that play many a times before. It goes down as an infield single. And he just ends up, the IKF on the double play that he tried to turn. It was so close. And that was the difference of the game. Good teams like the Phillies find a way to only get 3 singles and win a 1-0 ball game. The Pirates, not so much.
I don't even look at it in that way. I don't even put this on like the Phillies being a good team found a way. The Pirates found a way to give it up. Because again, Paul Skenes is a really, really talented pitcher. So it's going to be a tough matchup. I don't look at this as if the Phillies found a way to win this game. They were stifled the entire game. Like Brian Hayes typically does make that play. It was a tough play. It wasn't ruled an error because of how difficult that play is to make. But Brian Hayes is a very talented third baseman, and a lot of times you see him come up with that. That time it didn't. And it's like, hey, this is baseball. It happens. I don't put fault on anyone in that situation. And the next batter up, a blooper into right center field, 2 guys on right away, no outs. Like it is what it is. It's baseball. You would like to have seen that first out being made. There's just 1 hit, which would have been the first hit of the game, and you probably get out of that, whatever. But like once again, this is the issue. Paul Skenes wasn't perfect. Paul Skenes was extremely, extremely good, but he wasn't perfect. And because he wasn't perfect, the Pirates end up losing this game because of that situation right there. It sucks. Paul Skenes has a 2.44 ERA and he has a losing record. Like it's not even close. It sucks.
Yeah, and he
Paul
could have been
is 3-5 on the year with a 2.44 ERA.
He could have been perfect today, and I don't think he was getting the win because I don't know when this offense was scoring.
Well, right.
It's
because
just
he does go 102 pitches. So again, he probably wasn't going out for a 9th inning. So yeah, he won't get the loss if they had it tied or whatnot. But he wasn't going to get a win again today.
No, but it's a shame. It's a shame. What we've talked about it all year. This isn't just it's just the Paul Skenes, but like you said, Paul Skenes literally and all these pitchers have to feel like they have to be perfect to go out there and try to win a game. Yes, his ERA is 2.44. It was sub 2 last year. Like, obviously, you didn't really. Could he go another year where it's sub 2? Probably not, but he's still very good. He was excellent today. And like I said, just the command on everything. The Phillies, the swings and misses. Yeah, he had 9 strikeouts, but he had, how many whiffs were there total?
22, 40% whiff rate.
It was like, and the game was flying by. His innings were just boom, boom, boom. And it was fun to watch. It's just, you watch him and you try to enjoy like Paul Skenes and what he can do on the baseball mound. But then you have to watch, the Pirates offense is just going to go down in order and or get a single or 2 and not get a run in or do something stupid and they can't get a run. And it's just a shame. It's a shame, man, that they can't get, that we can't not waste Paul Skenes.
It's a beauty to watch Paul Skenes pitch. It's fantastic. But you have to endure the frustration of watching the Pittsburgh Pirates hit with it. And at the end of the day, Paul Skenes pitched fantastic. And I would love to celebrate it. And we are to a degree. But overall, you're frustrated. You are absolutely frustrated.
You'd like to see some wins on Paul Skenes' day. Yeah. You want to see some wins.
And there were opportunities. Abel makes his debut today. And as we've seen time and time again, and this isn't just like the Ben Cherington era. This goes back to this is the Pirates' MO, I feel. Anytime there's a guy making his debut, this Pirates offense just can't put things together. They look like a Cy Young pitcher out there. And that's what happened today. Abel, I was wondering for a second there if he was going to contend for Kerry Wood, his strikeout record.
Right.
That didn't happen. But yeah, he had 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings, struck out the side in the second one. He was coming out there and just blowing by everyone. the strikeouts there with him. So, I mean, he looked fantastic. I mean, this was a pitcher's duel. This also was a game where it's like, just as an MLB fan, you're kind of looking at this and saying, wow, I mean, look at these two pitchers go at it. It was more so because one is one of the most talented pitchers in baseball, and the other one was facing the Pittsburgh Pirates offense. But I don't want to take too much away from Abel. He's talented, but he's not on that type of level.
Yeah, I called this on the post game last night at the end. Bucko Mike's over here. Oh, they're going to score 6 runs and break the streak tomorrow against the pitcher they've never seen before. Like you said, that's the Pirates' MO. They're not going to hit that guy, and they can't hit anybody this year. Yes. Yesterday's game, they Zach Wheeler was on. Like, they just could not do anything against Wheeler. But the Pirates also make any pitcher look like Zach Wheeler or Paul Skenes or whatever. And here comes Mick Abel, and it's a major league debut, and it's just, what's going to happen. What's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he was throwing high heat, and he had it going from the start. Oh, he's a little wild in the minors. Well, he wasn't wild here today.
He was on.
He was mowing them down. 5 hits. And like you said, the Pirates had some chances to scratch out a run. They're just not good enough to do it. They just do stupid stuff. We'll get into the bunts. But they're just not good enough to they don't have the power, and they're not good enough to string together 3-4 hits that you need to do to score a couple runs. Right. And but like it's the easiest prediction to call ever is to hey, there's a guy making his major league debut against the Pirates. Yeah, we're in trouble.
It was. Now, I do want to talk about that 6th inning, that bunt. Before we do, to kind of wrap up on Paul, because I do want to mention this also. I will say this: he hasn't looked as dominant, right, in like some of the previous starts. He has. You talked about how his command was there. He was definitely commanding his pitches a much better today. There were moments, but also his stuff was so good. I mean, one thing about was I think it was Castellanos or Bohm where, I mean, he totally missed the glove, but his stuff is so good that it was a swinging strikeout. So even when he was off, that's why he's so talented. And that's also why I say the reasons that everyone was so down on him were the reasons that I'm like, this is why he's one of the best pitchers in the baseball, because he wasn't having his best stuff for I feel like the past 4 outings, like 3 out of the past 4, he just didn't have his best stuff, and he was coming through and still coming out there with great numbers. I mean, this guy can fight and pitch, and knowing he doesn't have his greatest stuff with him, he can battle through and keep this team well within striking reach of a win. So again, even with all that, he comes into this game with, a sub-3 ERA, is like a 2.6 something, I think, at that point in time. That's what inspired me to feel like this is why Paul is so good, because when he's not on, he's still so good. And today he comes in this game. You talk about the command. He had it. He had everything going for him. And this is what you get: an 8-inning, 1-run game that could have easily been a shutout from Paul Skenes with 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. So yes, this is why Paul Skenes is one of the best dominant pitchers in the game, because when he's on, you get this. And when he's not, you still have Cy Young type numbers.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, and that's why, he this was the Paul Skenes that I think people were, when you come into this season, to be a little more efficient, but still have the strikeouts. This kind of performance is what people, I think, were waiting on.
Yes.
And yeah, but you said, when he's not even on, he's still on. He's still good. And today he had it. As I said, he could be pitching to midnight tonight. I don't think the Phillies were doing much off of him. He just had it going, and hopefully he keeps that up, and we see more of this. But like you said, that's why this season is so frustrating, because not just Paul Skenes, but the pitching for the most part, they're keeping the Pirates in games. The Pirates have played a bunch of 1-run games since, most of the season, since Don Kelly took over, especially. They've been playing 1-run games, but they can't score. They can't score. They can't get any runs. Nothing changes. It's the same story. And that's why it's so frustrating, because the pitching is keeping them in these ball games, and they just can't do anything with it. It's just wasted opportunity after wasted opportunity.
100%. So let's get down to how they wasted opportunity. Now, we know, as mentioned, Abel was striking guys right and left. He was allowing some hits. I think he had 5. Let me go here just to double check now.
Yeah, they had
5 hits
total,
in the 6 innings. So again, the Pirates were getting some hits. I know there's 2 innings they had a leadoff hit, weren't able to do anything with it. So it wasn't like he was just
and it was
not
all
allowing
singles. Like
any
there
hits.
was no
Well,
extra base hits in this game at all.
Right,
Personally.
right. And what I'm just saying, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is Paul Skenes just wasn't allowing hits, right? Abel had 5 and 6, so the Pirates were getting some hits, right? He comes
Right.
out of the game, new pitcher comes in, and you're just like, okay, well, thank God, because the Pirates weren't doing anything with Abel on the mound. So with Kirkering up, maybe there's a chance. And what happens right away? Brian Hayes walks. Well, okay.
Yeah, leadoff walk.
But again, this isn't new. A leadoff guy's been on this now for the 3rd time in the game. What's going to happen? Usually bad things happen. Well, Brian Hayes walks. Alexander Canario hits a 109 mile per hour single, right? Canario having a Canario type of game, hits a ball hard and then has 2 strikeouts. But hey, 2 guys on, no outs. Ryan, Paul Skenes is pitching a gem. We know what the Pirates have done. Right, they squandered a two guys, Bucks around the corner with 2 outs. They squandered that. Here's an opportunity now, 2 guys on, 0 outs. Adam Frazier's up to bat. Tries to lay down a bunt. Obviously unsuccessful. I want to hear your point of view because you did bring up the bunt. Your thoughts on that?
He got the bunt down, but it went right back to the pitcher. And this is what's so frustrating. How is a team that is so just power inept, they can't hit home runs, they don't hit many extra base hits, like they should be excelling in the bunt game. When you have an opportunity to bunt, you should be the greatest bunting team in history. And Adam Frazier, dude, you've been playing baseball since 2013 and professionally. You played in the SEC for 3 years. You're not a power hitter. There goes my phone. You're not a power hitter. How does Adam Frazier not know that he needs to bunt that to third base? It was a terrible bunt. And again, the decision to bunt at all. If you know these guys are struggling in the game today to lay bunts down and get it down properly, why are you even calling the bunt? I get it. Got first and second, no outs. Like that's the time when you bunt them both over, and now you got 2 shots to get them in from scoring position. But it's the Pirates offense. You're giving up outs, which you never want to do. You can't get a bunt down. We've seen them screw this up so many times. I just don't like. They should either be working on it because we've seen the bunt more often since Kelly's taken over. I think that's people can agree on that. You got to practice it. You got to make sure these guys can get it down. What was it? Triolo never had a bunt, a successful bunt in the majors or whatever.
Professional career.
You can't have them bunting if that's the case. Like Triolo's never laid one down. Frazier, I know he's laid down bunts before. He's got to get that thing over to third base side. It's just classic Buccos, and nothing changes. The fundamentals, getting bunts down. That's why when they get into extra innings right now with the Ghost Runner it's a showcase in fundamentals, and the Pirates don't have it. Some teams start off bunting. They walk the first guy, set up the double play. You try to get the bunt down. Just the Pirates are not set up to play that way. And yeah, I'm with Jim. Like I just don't like bunting. When the pitchers used to hit, there were times for them to lay bunts down, and the pitchers should be able to lay bunts down at that point. But if you're going to have this team bunt down 1, you got to make sure you got to be practiced. You got to make sure these guys are the best bunters around, and they're not. They're terrible. But it's just you're not going to hit power. You got to be sound. You should be able to hit some bunts down. So it's frustrating. It wasted another opportunity there, and there it was. Buccos get shut out again.
Yeah. I want to offer a different perspective. Just because, Jim said it here, and I know I said on NS9 Live, I'm not one for bunting. And in that situation, 2 guys on, no outs, like swing away also. You're down, like you need hits, do so. But this team doesn't do that. This team doesn't get hits. And that's why, like what I said in that night kind of sums up this situation perfectly. I'm against it in general. But for right now, I'm kind of for it. And
I'm with you.
This is why.
But they have to be able to get them down. They have to.
Well, they do. Execute. And again, Reynolds, Frazier's the type of guy where you assume he can. I will not, like, I'm indifferent in that situation. hitting or bunting, I have no problem with either because I'm kind of okay with the bunt. It's Adam Frazier. There's two guys on. This team, for one, the Pirates lead MLB right now with 43 ground and double plays. They have the 8th most plate appearances with a runner on, but they lead MLB with grounding and double plays. So keep that in perspective. And Adam Frazier's 4th on the team with double plays. And like when you think of Adam Frazier, you kind of think of double plays. So, the IKF and Henry Davis up after him, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, let me take the out here, but advance those two. And now I have 2 opportunities to get them in with IKF and Davis because they're not going to hit a double play also. Because IKF can also hit a double play, so can Davis, right? But now with Frazier advancing them, that eliminates the inning-ending double play at least. So I'm kind of looking at this, okay, Paul Skenes is on the mound. He's a dog. He's doing his thing. Can we at least tie this game up here? Hope for getting 2. I mean, there's 2 guys on. There's no outs. You need to get at least 1 run here. Advance the hitters. You have 2 opportunities to get someone in. And IKF's, and again, Frazier's a great contact guy. That also lead to bad things like double plays, So like, to me, part of it is like, hey, I'm living in my fears by doing that. But at this point in time, I am living in my fears because my fears are kind of the reality. This is the 2025 Pirates. We know what's going to happen here. Adam Frazier's going to hit a double play. IKF's going to come up and there's probably an out and the inning's over. So at least advance them and give me my 2 shots. That's why I was kind of okay with a bunt. Adam Frazier did not execute it. And that was the game. Like there was another opportunity right there, a perfect opportunity set up on a platter for them. 2 guys on, no outs, and they found a way to, first off, not even advance the runners because they just traded Cabrine for Adam Frazier. And then inning double play.
It works out. It works out perfectly for the Phillies. They get the bad bunt out, and then they get the double play by IKF, which you were trying to avoid. I would have been, and like I said, I don't disagree with that bunt there. But if you're going to, I wouldn't say like feature the bunt, but obviously Kelly's been leaning on the bunt more often with this offense, which I understand because the offense sucks. You have to be practicing the bunt and making sure these guys can do it. Like you just can't bunt Triolo on other game when he's just never laid one down or it looks terrible. I would have rather seen them just pinch hit for Frazier, put in Bart for a pinch hit, and then you could go to Triolo at second or whatnot, but just pinch hit him. And maybe you just swing away three guys.
No, this is going to be ironic. I don't hate that either per se, but also Bart's kind of been the double play king right now. He does lead the team in.
He's like the single. If he does get a hit, it's a singles master. So
yeah. So like you could have been doing the same thing, but no. I mean I would have liked that situation. I would take my chance with Bart over Frazier, of course, any day. But Bart's kind of been doing that also. But again, perfect opportunity there in the 7th.
Yeah,
and they blow it.
How about
Paul Skenes continues to pitch and the Phillies close it out?
How about the 9th inning, DiNardo, where the Phillies, the Phillies closer is suspended, basically. Jordan Romano comes in with a nice 7.71 ERA. I mean, it's almost like the Phillies were just like, here, Buckos, like try to come back in this game. So what's he do with his 7 ERA? He strikes out the side. Ball game.
Yeah.
I mean,
completely uncompetitive today.
Yep. Like I said, Skenes could have been pitching to midnight against this Phillies offense and been rolling, but I don't know how many innings you could have gone until the Pirates scored a run today. It was ugly.
I do want to bring this up. No, Cruz
over
4.
Yep.
4 strikeouts. He's now 8 strikeouts in his last 9 plate appearances.
He's 0 for 8 since coming back. Well, okay, not including the pinch hit. His last 2 games this weekend, the 2 starts since coming back, he's 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts.
Right. So I'm including the pitch hit. He's 0 for 9 with 8 strikeouts since coming back.
Even better. I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt.
Well,
it's bad.
I get it. I want to say 2 things about this. Now, of course, he was a huge part of the problem. 4 strikeouts today as a leadoff guy. No one's getting on. Kutch was able to move anybody, do anything. Of course, Brian Reynolds 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Reynolds is slumping. I know he hit the home run last night. It was meaningless. Did have a blue hit today, but
in the ninth inning today with the game on the line, he struck out. Yeah.
Right. I know it's going to sound like an excuse, and it is what it is, only because we know we like to back up Cruz on situations. The reason I back up Cruz on situations is because for a full year, you know what his numbers are, and for a full entire year, he's been a good baseball player. When you want to just point small stretches at us, like what it is right now, it's bad, and it is bad. He was struggling before the injury, and again, you can't go 0 for 9 with 8 strikeouts. That's bad. But I don't understand. He looked more comfortable today, and what I mean by comfortable is at the plate, he didn't look like he was wincing. But in that pinch hit, and then yesterday as well, like he seemed like he was wincing at the plate. Like his back was bothering him. So he looked more comfortable today in the fact that he looked healthier. So I'll give him that. But also he's coming back. He didn't look right as far as health-wise, and he's facing tough lefties. That's what it was today. I don't know. I feel like he came back too soon. But at the same sense,
you think
like he looks bad. He looks bad right now. So I don't know whether it's just I've been off for a week and I'm hurt still or what, but yeah, it's been bad for him.
Real quick, shout out to Yinzer with the sub here in the comment. Maybe we should. He's trying to bribe us to cover the minor leagues, DiNardo. But thanks again. We appreciate it. Here's my thing. On Cruz, I would hope that this organization wouldn't be running him out there while he's still injured. But I mean, on a 15 and 32 team, you don't need to rush Cruz back. I understand he's your only hitter that was performing for the most part. He leads the team in home runs, leads them in stolen bases, pretty much every offensive category. He leads your team. If he's injured, just put him on the IL. Let him rest. I don't know if this is he's injured or he's just his timing's off because he was off for a week. But he wasn't. This wasn't the Cruz. This wasn't the Cruz we saw before the injury. So I just, if that's the case, you got to sit him down. Like you're not going anywhere this year, guys. Like don't have it get worse. Don't have him lose confidence and get into this just downward spiral, basically. But yeah, I don't know. It would not surprise me if all of a sudden we see a IL stint here coming up, and then it's like, what the hell were you guys doing playing him for 3 games before?
Well, I think there's a what the hell are you guys doing because he wasn't on the IL for so long, and that's why I do mention like the past 2 games he also didn't look healthy at the plate. So it's like maybe he should have just been on the IL, but you guys messed that up. But that's why I do say today I didn't get that from him. Like today he looked healthy at the plate. It didn't look like he was being bothered by the back. And then again, that's just appearance, and that could be different, that could change or whatever. But I didn't get that vibe from him. So if he is playing now, so I assume he's healthy. You can't be doing this going forward. So I hope it's more of I wasn't right. I've been out. This is the first time I'm seeing, live pitching in a week, and it's some tough lefties. But got to point it out, he wasn't also, Ryan, you did say it's not the Cruz we saw before. Before he went down, he was starting to struggle. He was starting to struggle. So but
he wasn't striking out every at bat.
Oh no, well, no, I mean, yeah, like this. Well, no one's this bad. Like even Matt Gorski's not this bad as far as striking out goes. But that's why I do say like he's looked not right the past 2 games. Today he looked better in that sense, but he didn't look good at plate. Like he looks lost right now. So hopefully it doesn't carry on too much. Maybe he gets back into the baseball swing and gets better. But yeah, Ono Cruz 0 for 4 today. 8 strikeouts in his last 9 plate appearances. Not a good return from him.
No. Like I said, we're not doctors, but I don't want to sit here and say, oh, he looks like he's injured, but he sure doesn't look right. Like, and
well, yeah.
And again,
I mean, the thing is, he literally had to step back and stretch out his back in the middle of a plate appearance. He at least didn't do that today. But the fact that he was doing that before, I'm like, Jesus, what's going on here?
And again, like he's your best hitter, but if he's going out there and going 0 for 9 with 8 strikeouts, he's not helping you at all.
Right.
He's not helping anybody. So yeah, just sit him down at that point. Washed up tough guy says he's a doctor.
But like this offense is already with Reynolds lost. Like it can't afford Cruz also being lost if he's going to be in the lineup, especially when you're 1 through in your top 3, right? Whether it's 1, 2 or 1, 3, you can't have those guys lost. So I hope it's more to the fact of Cruz is not seeing live pitching, kind of getting over the injury and left, the lefties and whatnot, than it is this is Cruz struggling right now. But we'll find out. By the way, of course, he was part of the problem today for sure. Thanks, Grift Adding, for the $4 as well. Great point. The only reason Abel was up. Nola Phantom sprained ankle. Give him a moment. Same should be with Cruz. I get it. But the thing is, too, like Cruz was out for so long. Like if you put him on the IL, it starts today. So you're without him again for 10 more days. Is he like 2 days away from being air quotes right? Or is he 10 days away? If it's 2 days, like I'm saying, like he doesn't look like he needs an IL stint now.
Right.
It appeared like maybe he needed an IL stint when he needed one, though.
But it wouldn't surprise me if like tomorrow he hits the IL. Because that's just the way things go with this organization. But thanks, Griff. I have one more offensive stat that I have to update from yesterday's game.
Go for it.
So this is their 8th shutout of the season. I don't know if that leads the league. It's got to be up there. They have now scored 2 runs or less in 19 of their 47 games, DiNardo. That is now 40.4% of their games. They've scored 0, 1, or 2 runs. In 40% of their games. That ain't good enough.
Yeah, we're starting to recognize this offense as a problem, I think.
Yeah, you think? And it's not a fluke. It's just who they are.
Thanks to all these numbers and records, I think we're starting to begin to realize that the offense might be a problem.
Hey, Ben Cherington, though, man, I think he was the only one who didn't think it was a problem going into this season.
Well, if you squint just right, you can see it.
In I don't think there was a simulation in the 10,000 that showed them performing well.
Speaking of, just a shout out, Spencer Horwitz, first Pirate hit today. He did go 1 for 4 with a single, but he got a hit. So there you go. Welcome, Spencer Horwitz.
I just
also,
have a feeling
he was the guy with the guys on first and third that struck out to end the inning. So he got his full welcoming to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I just think it's going to be Spencer singles Horowitz this year because of the injury that but hey, he'll fit right in with this offense because when we do hit, it's singles.
There it is. All right, are we out of here, Ryan?
I think we're out of here.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
I'm tired of
with that said, we love you all. Thank everyone for the supers who have done so. If you haven't, you can join 99 cents, join our YouTube membership. You get all the cool emojis that are being used. And then you can join our Patreon, $4.99. Get you some cool perks as well. Guys, if you haven't already, RSVP will be at PNC Park this Saturday. Well, actually, I mean, in some sort of mixture, we'll all be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But our tailgate will be this Saturday. RSVP for it. We'll see you out there. Yeah. We'll have a good time. We'll have a fun time.
We'll actually give away sandwiches. We'll actually give away sandwiches at the tailgate. We haven't been able to many games this year, but we will have sandwiches at the tailgate. So RSVP to get them. That's right. So with that said, we'll be back tomorrow, Bucko Brew with Jim and I, to talk about this team even more. We'll see you guys later. Enjoy your Sundays. Bye-bye. Peace.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.